Greetings, listener. Please enjoy the unintelligible ramblings of your favorite dynamic trio, Arva, Ferra, and Westy, as they discuss wholesome experiences. Welcome to The Unintelligibles.
So, I'm going to Newfoundland in July for a wedding, and it's me and my parents are going on the same flight, and my friend Frisia, who many people who know me will know Frisia. She's coming with us because she's always wanted to go to Newfoundland, and she's allowed to come to the wedding and everything, so we're all flying together. My mom booked mine, my dad, and hers tickets together all at once because she was using her points. And I booked Frisia's ticket separately because she was paying for her own flight. We were all on the same exact flight though, like same exact flight, same connection, same time, same flight number. Everything was the same. It's just that my parents and I booked together and then Frisia booked separately. I got an email that Frisia's flight has been changed to the next day, and this is all the way out in July. I don't know why they're changing it now. So I was like, go downstairs to my mom, and I'm like, oh, our flight changed, and she's like, no, it didn't. And I'm like, well, I got an email that Frisia's flight changed, and she's like, well, our flight's the same still. And I was like, so what do you mean? And I look in her account and she hasn't gotten any emails. And in her account, me, her, and my dad are still on that flight, but Frisia is no longer on that flight. It says that it's been canceled. Which is bullshit because it's not been canceled because I'm on it! So I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. So I tried to call WestJet, which is the flight line that we're flying with, but they were taking forever to answer, so I called Expedia, which is the company we booked through, and the guy was like, oh yeah, we can change you to this flight at whatever time, and I was like, no, you can't, dude! I'm flying with... I'm Frisia, and at this moment in time, I'm speaking for her. I'm flying with my family, essentially. Like, I can't be on a different flight. We're driving to the airport together. We're leaving the airport together. We're staying in the same place. Like, we can't be on a different flight. Why did my flight get canceled and theirs didn't? And obviously he doesn't know because he doesn't work for the airline. So I spent like half an hour trying to talk to this dude who of course is on the other side of the planet, like in a call center in India. And I'm like, bro, I can't be on a different flight. Like, I can't. It's not possible. Why was only this one ticket changed and not the rest of them? So he's emailing WestJet, and then I have to wait like 4 days for him to get a response from them because that's how long it takes for these fucking airlines to respond to anybody, apparently. And I'm just gonna lose my mind because I know what happened. I know that they overbooked the flight, and I know that they picked people that booked single tickets to boot off because they're assuming that they're flying solo, so they won't care as much if they're booted off the flight. But that's not the case because she's flying with 3 other people. She's not flying solo. She can't be on another flight. And Frisia will not... Like, she is so anxious. She's such an anxious person. There's no way that she can fly by herself and the other 3 of us be on the other flight. Like, there's no way. Because she hasn't been on a flight in years. The only last flight she's been on was this year with me when we went to Ottawa to visit Sharcy. But it's been like, last flight she was on, she was like a child. So she doesn't have a lot of experience at the airport and flying. And, like, she needs to be with us. So I'm, like, losing my mind because I am, like, livid that they changed the flight and had the audacity to tell me that the flight was canceled. Bitch, I know it's not, because I have a ticket for the same fucking flight that wasn't canceled.
My God.
I'm just like, Oh my god,
I
dude.
hate dealing with airlines so much.
Airlines constantly overbook their flights because they assume people are gonna cancel. Why do you do that? At
Yeah,
least, like, the only saving grace is that this is in July,
I was gonna
because
say,
every other flight I've ever had canceled or changed on me, it's been, like, the day of, which is
yeah.
infuriating.
Yeah.
But why, like, this is literally months away. Why are they just changing her flight and not mine? I just don't understand. Like, what did they fucking do?
I guess it's like you said, probably because she's a single passenger in their eyes at least, and this gives her a lot of time to like adjust to the new flight, but still it's bullshit. It's
Yeah,
still
but
bullshit.
she booked as a single passenger, but she's not actually.
Mm,
We're a group of 4 flying together that are traveling together. So,
yeah,
like, we can't fly separately because then she has to get, like, a separate drive. Like, we don't live close to an airport. The airport's an hour and a half away.
yeah. Well, they should be able to fix it. They
Yeah.
should. They fucking
I
should.
Dude, if WestJet comes back at Expedia and is like, "Sorry, there's nothing we can do," no, I'm calling WestJet, and if they tell me on the phone that they can't do it, I will go to the airport, up to the fucking rep desk, and be like, "Put me back on the flight, I swear to God."
Yeah, like I was there before. Just switch out whoever you put on this flight. Tell them to get a different flight. Like what the hell?
Like, yeah, it's just like, I know the flight's not canceled, bitch, because I'm on it.
Because I'm on it. Yeah.
Because the
That's
Gotta
Expedia
bring the
guy's like,
evidence.
"Oh, this flight isn't available anymore. I can't select it." It is, dude. It's full.
Good
So
old
yeah, that's my
overbooking.
gripe. That's my gripe. Not Expedia's fault. WestJet's fault. And you know what? Every single WestJet flight I've been on this year has been changed. So shout out to WestJet.
Sponsor us, WestJet.
You've literally canceled 4 flights on me now, WestJet, this year. WestJet.
No.
What the fuck, dude? Stop it!
Mm.
Gonna lose it with WestJet. Swear to God.
Boycott WestJet. Woo. So no, I don't want to be like held accountable for what I say on the internet.
Funnily enough, the only airline that I've been on so many flights this last year. The only airline that I have not had any trouble with was like Flair, which is like notoriously a fuck
Okay.
around
And find out kind of airline.
airline.
Yeah.
But it's the only one that I have not had my flight changed at all.
Huh.
I never
So,
even
yeah.
heard of that airline. That's we Canadian.
It's like the budget Canadian airline.
Oh, so Spirit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say it'd be the equivalent to Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, we have we have Flair and Swoop
Well,
instead.
I don't. Spirit's bad at like booking you, but I think American Airlines is actually the worst. I don't know if you've ever been sitting in your seat and you look out the window and you see somebody out there putting duct tape on the plane. But I've done that, and I had such a moment of, I'm gonna die. Like literally a roll of duct tape.
It's industrial duct tape.
Yeah.
Rolling it across a part of the wing to hold
That's
a panel, and I'm like,
insane.
yo, I'm gonna shit.
That would make me shake. I'd
But
be shaking in
hey,
my booties.
flight is the safest way to travel, am I right?
Oh, I mean, everything went fine. It was just when you see that, I'm like, yeah, there's probably a reason they're doing that. Like, they wouldn't do it if we were gonna die. The lawsuits would be amazing, but they wouldn't risk
I
that.
watched them
True.
repair the plane that we then crashed.
Well, I took a video of it and then I posted like, yo, am I safe?
It's okay. It's just loud.
That's so funny.
Yeah, everything was fine, but man, I'm lucky I haven't had
Everything was-
very many.
I have to like
That's-
debate on whether I'm telling Frisia about what is happening right now because I know it's gonna stress her out so much. And I'm like, this is a me problem, not a her problem, because I'm the one I booked it through my Expedia account because she doesn't have Expedia. So I'm dealing with it and I have the flight information for myself and my parents, obviously. So like she can't do anything about it. There's no reason for her to be stressed about it. right now. So I'm just not gonna mention it unless
I
it
think
becomes a
that's fair.
real issue.
Well,
yeah.
hopefully she doesn't listen to this podcast.
She's gonna listen to this podcast and be
Oh.
like, "What the fuck, bitch?" Well, no. In 4 days, I will know
oh, you got plenty of time then.
what's happening.
You gotta race it. You gotta race the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
You got
If
until
the
next Monday.
exactly. It's gonna be like 11 p.m. on Sunday, and I'll be like, I have to tell you something.
Hey, so
Don't watch the podcast.
let's sit down.
tomorrow.
Don't watch the podcast.
4:59
I gotta tell you a
a.m.
little
So
something.
don't click that link.
Yeah.
That's a virus. Don't click that. Actually.
Yeah.
That account got hacked. Just ignore it.
I also have to talk to you coincidentally. Oh my god, that's so crazy.
Oh
Hey,
my god, weird.
something I gotta share. You might want to sit down.
Oh yeah, I'm just like, huh. It will get figured out. But it's just a pain in the ass, dude.
It is, yeah. It's not needed. That's so annoying.
Anyways, hey, welcome to the Unintelligibles.
Yeah, wait, hang on. I think Arva's the
My-
host.
Oh yeah. Oh.
With his
Ooh.
wonderfully thought out and amazing topic that he had planned for a week now and is clearly not
Hey,
very...
Is
Remember
our-
what? Wait.
I thought I was the host.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Wait,
Wait,
I was
won
the host last
time.
week.
No, I was.
Oh no, you were the
No,
host because
Westy
you did
was
the
the
game show,
host.
Hell,
and then I
what?
lost.
Are y'all
But
good?
I won.
Yeah,
I
no, because I
won.
lost. I
Oh
did
wait,
the
yeah,
loser
Ferra
speech.
did win. You're right.
I lost like 2-3, I think.
I was literally about to introduce the podcast.
That's why I was so thrown off. I was like, "Whoa!"
You know
I had a
what?
topic
Wait.
prepared and everything.
AFK, edit this part out.
No,
Anyway,
no. AFK, leave that in. I want everyone to know that I've been wronged.
I listen to so many of the podcasts just to like check the editing. It gets confusing. By the way, Ferra,
I was gonna say that would be off-putting.
have you ever like looked through the YouTube edits because AFK does some hilarious shit?
I know I didn't look at the last one.
It was the
But I
one
can-
before last, I think. We were all like, AFK, quick, edit a segue. And she edited a fucking segue cutaway that just went through and changed absolutely nothing. It was the funniest thing. Just like, she did something special for this week's episode for the YouTube version. So if you're listening on Spotify, hey, there's a YouTube version with some bonus visuals.
Yeah, you're listening on the wrong episode.
No.
You're listening on the wrong platform.
No. You listen. If you're on YouTube, listen to Spotify. We need more average viewers. I almost got us a CBD sponsorship. We need more average viewers, though.
Everyone listen on every platform at the same time. Just overstim yourself.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
listen to them both at the same time. What happened to the Apple one?
What?
We were on 3 platforms originally.
Oh yeah, we're on Apple as well.
Oh, okay.
That one you just don't link it ever, and I was like, okay, well I guess we're not doing that anymore.
Well, there's a word limit that you can do on like Twitter, and I was like, sacrifice has to be made here.
Nobody uses Apple Podcasts.
I was gonna say I looked at the popularity, and it was Spotify, YouTube. Apple wasn't even the next one. I think it was actually Amazon.
Oh my god.
funny.
Yeah.
And then
that sounds about right.
iHeartRadio, and I was like, okay, Apple was like number 4 or 5.
Poor
Yeah,
Apple.
that's so
Wow,
sad.
wow.
Yeah, I actually have the list right here. It is Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Samsung, Apple, iHeartRadio, Podcast Index,
God.
RSS, Google Podcast, Pandora. I thought that service died a while ago. And I don't know what Deezer and Stitcher is, but hey, thanks for listening if you are.
D's nuts and Stitch. Fuck. I can't do this shit today, man.
Well, good thing you're the host! Like I said along!
Hey guys, welcome to the Unintelligibles. I'm your host, Ferra, joined by my
Okay.
co-hosts, Arva
Hello.
and Westy.
Hey yo.
On today's episode, I lose my goddamn mind. WestJet, if you're listening to this, you're a bitch.
Sponsor us.
You should sponsor us, yeah. And then maybe
Please.
Free
I'll
tickets.
get like the correct flight next time I fucking fly with you. anyways, funnily enough, for this episode, I wanted to go a different route than past episodes because, for the most part, in terms of like us telling our stories, wacky adventures, it's usually been negative,
Mm.
like the shittiest, uh, customer service experience.
Excuse
or-
me, dog food pimp is a positive customer service experience.
Okay,
He wasn't
you're right.
enlightenment. True.
What about white people taco night? Was that a positive experience?
I thought it was funny because I was watching somebody about to beat her son with a fucking broom for knocking over a potted plant over store-bought
pretty good, yeah.
tacos.
It's true. You weren't part of it, which means you can enjoy it.
Oh, I was. You know that image where it's like the two people fighting and the one dude taking a big ass bong rip? I was
Yeah.
taking the big ass bong rip.
Yes.
You're just there to witness.
Uh-huh. My stories
So,
are great.
I need some positivity in my life right now because I'm gonna lose my mind.
Hmm.
I want us to talk about just like my guys. My brain is like frazzled right now. I have a topic though, I promise. What is like the most wholesome or like just like a random act of kindness that you've done or somebody's done for you or you've seen somebody do for somebody else? Just like wholesome story of somebody going out of their way to just be a kind person.
Oh, okay.
Cute. I like that.
Yeah.
So I have a small one that I remembered because I was like, you always remember the negative things, you don't really remember the positive things as much. So I had to rack my brain a little bit more. But my eldest brother spent a majority of his childhood in children's hospital. And so I was there a lot when I was a baby and a toddler. And I distinctly remember going there one day and walking with my mom, and there was an old man in a wheelchair. And I saw him giving a little boy like a little stuffed dog. And I was like, look, stuffed dog, because I was obsessed with stuffed animals. Like, I'm still obsessed with Pusheen specifically, but I had so many stuffed animals. Like, it was my entire bed was covered. I had a big bucket. I had like the hanging stuffed animal thing. I had so many. It was a problem. Still is a problem. But I was like really excited that this guy was giving away stuffed animals. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want one. And my mom was like, well, I don't know, like, why he's giving them away. And they might not be free. Like, maybe that kid bought it. But the guy heard us. So he came over and he's like, do you want one? And I was like, yeah. And then my mom was like, oh, why are you giving these away? And he was like, oh, I volunteer here at the children's hospital. I'm giving these away just for, like, sick kids and their families, just to, you know, like, give them a little happiness in their day. And I thought that was really cute, and I still have it. I'm looking at it. It's like the size of my palm. It's a little golden retriever, and I
Oh.
named it. I think I was like 7 years old. I named it Sweetheart because the guy who gave it to me, I thought he was a sweetheart.
Oh,
That's so nice.
That's so
I
cute.
still have it to this day.
What the heck?
That's very sweet.
You're right, though. I really am having to rack my brain for the good ones.
It's so much easier to think of shit, right?
Yeah.
I have a couple. Yeah, I guess I can go let Arva kind of scroll
I'm
through.
getting some, but I'm trying to get some really like better ones of the small acts, or I'll group them together maybe also.
Well, I don't know if I can categorize them as like, I guess it would be a small act on my part here, because back in the before times, I used to be a dog trainer. And I was a very, very good dog trainer. I was a dog behaviorist. And I was trained by a dog behaviorist. I'm not going to give out any specific names, but the one who trained her is a gentleman who lived with wolves and documented pack mentality. So I got some like A+ training going on there. But since she was my mentor, we of course spent a lot of time together. And it's so hard for me to say her name. She had similar health problems that I had to go through and like similar family problems. And so we kind of connected a little bit more. And I want to say the better part of it had to have been 3 or 4 years as we were working together. She was living in her mother's house because she moved to where I was to take care of her sick mother in her last days. After she passed, she kept the house and lived there for years. And then she didn't want to live there, though. She wanted to sell the house and like have a place of her own. And so for 4 years, I kind of watched her like struggle trying to find it. Every time she found something that was like, I love this place, she just didn't get it because the housing market sucks. It sucks horribly in the US. It's awful. You want to pay $600,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment? Let's fucking go. But after about 4 years of every week, she would come in and like show me pictures like, yeah, I was look at this house, look how beautiful it is, it's so wonderful. And then the following week I didn't get the house, and so like dejected and sad, and I'd have to like, you know, help teach a class just to kind of keep her mind off of it. She finally got a plot of land, and somebody was like, I'm gonna build you a house. Now, it wasn't for free, but he was a very good builder, and he gave her, like, a lot of help and custom-built stuff. And when this house was finally done, because she was an older woman, she was all by herself, she didn't have a husband, she didn't have any, like, close friends or living her entire family was gone at that point. And so when the house was finally done, I, of course, was like, hey, I'm going to help you move, okay? I'm just going to give you a hand so you don't have to pay, like, any movers. And so I spent the next probably 2 months helping her move from one house to another, going to that house. It was a very beautiful house. She has a lot of course, she's a dog bear. She had a lot of dogs, like Akitas, Chow, Shiba Inus.
Oh.
That's a lot of dogs.
Oh, yeah, there was a pack of 7, I think.
Damn.
But they were all like the most violent, aggressive, quote, violent, aggressive breeds. And so they were very well trained. And some of them worked with me. And so they were really confused when I was in their house. They're like, well, you're not supposed to be here. What the fuck?
Why are you here?
Yep. And so for weeks, I was just like going over and like installing lights along the driveway because it's a little out in the country, so she could see at night if she had to like work late or she had to go somewhere. Solar powered lights, or like going up on a ladder and hanging a clock or something, or helping her assemble a bed frame. Just the stuff that, like, when you're either younger, or I feel like when you're a guy, it's a little bit easier compared to when you're a little old woman who doesn't have very much strength left. And so, yeah, I spent about 2 months getting her house together, and it was all, like, finally done. It was so sweet because she was in tears, like, it's finally my home, and she's so happy there with her dogs.
Yeah.
And she still sends me pictures every now and then of, like, all the dogs grouped together, like, in a family photo.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then she's just like...
That's so cute.
She's like, yeah, if I didn't have you, I don't know what I would have done for a lot of this, so I'd had to pay somebody, and I don't know if I could have afforded it. Like, no, we got you.
That must be so nice. Honestly, like, the feeling of getting your first house is probably crazy. Like, I own this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a big house. Like, she wanted it small because she's like, I don't need a lot of space. Like, 1 bedroom, 1 living room. I think there was
less to clean also.
Yeah, and it was very nice, like all hardwood floor. Cause she's like, I don't want carpet because I got dogs. I just want to be able to mop around. And the only like excessive part I'd say there was going from like the garage, because it'd go like living room, kitchen, garage. There was like a half a barn gate there, so the dogs couldn't get through. She didn't want them to. That was really the only excessive part. It was like a very nice, simple house. Very beautiful. Rustic, that's the word.
Yeah, rustic. Yeah.
Because because the rest of the house was like the property was blocked off with a gate because she wanted a giant yard for the dogs to be able to go out and just sprint.
Right.
So it was
Oh, that's
mostly yard
perfect.
and just small house with like enough rooms for her to be comfy. But yeah, that's one I spent 2 months moving, assembling furniture, doing all that. Kind of helped me out when I moved here. And then it was just that nice feeling of everything was finally done. We sat down, we kind of looked around, and she started crying like, I'm finally home.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be such a
sweet.
nice feeling. All the stress is done from the move. You can just
Yeah,
sit
you don't have
down.
to. No more house hunting. Dunzo.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially if you're
Your
doing it
dogs
for
aren't going to be stressed.
4 years of doing that.
Yeah, no shit.
While she was living in her mother's house who had passed away, so there's like that's got to be full of a lot of sad memories in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a good feeling of, like I said, I consider it small because it wasn't like I was going and spending every week. There's like a day or two out of the week I would go over there and help
Help out a
do
little
some
bit.
things, kind of get the lights in the ground or like get the bed frame assembled.
Right.
Yeah, things like that.
That's really nice. That helps a lot. That's
It
one of
really
the things
does.
that when my friends start moving and stuff that I'll always offer is help with moving.
Yeah, I helped my friend move recently, and oh my gosh, even though it's like the tiniest apartment and like she didn't even bring that much stuff, it just like it adds up really quickly, and it's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
The moving van, and then she's in an apartment right now, so it's like up the elevator and I'm putting the bed frame together and the
Oh, that's the
futon
worst.
together and the desk together. So much
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, I always help because I know how much of a bitch it is to move a few times, and it's free. It's free. I can do it, and they're my friends, so I'm gonna help them. Also, hiring movers isn't the cheapest either.
No.
So
Yeah.
even if I can knock
no.
off a little bit of the price for like, taking care of like half their stuff and they have to use movers for the rest, then that's still like it helps.
I'll say
I
even
feel
if you
like I
get
would
like the small stuff and just let a mover get like the really big stuff, like the mattresses and
Yeah,
whatnot.
like leave all the furniture and
yeah.
stuff for the movers. Yeah, that'll help a lot because then it won't be as much, and also then you can get some of the small stuff out of the way too earlier or after, whichever order you move in.
And I trust my friends and family. Well, depending on the family member. More to move my stuff than like a mover that I don't really
Yeah,
know.
it's true. It's true. They might not have the experience of moving, but at least they they know your stuff and you know them and you know they're not gonna like fuck around with anything.
Break
Not on purpose at
anything
least.
or
Depending on the family member.
Depending on the family, yeah, I'll definitely.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, damn. Mine's a lot smaller than this. Well, mine was actually pretty recent. Mine, funny enough, happened after that whole trip incident with like, oh no, this is a different trip incident. This is when I was coming back from Portland and my car's rear tire blew on the freeway and my air conditioning stopped working and I just had a shit fucking drive home. It was awful. It was like 5 hours and the first hour was like spent on the side of the road in like super hot summer. So I got home and I was talking to a guy at this time. We didn't end up working out. Typical. But at the time he was really sweet and really nice. And I was texting him. I was like, "Oh, I finally got home from my trip. I hope you're doing good. I had the worst fucking drive home ever." So this guy, without my knowledge, he just like started asking me questions about food, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know. I should have seen it coming. When someone just asks you about food randomly, you should know. But he ended up like asking me what my favorite foods were and stuff, and kind of like pinpointed uh like food to order for me. Um, because all of a sudden I get a text later on after I've like settled down more. He's like, "Oh, check your door." And there's a bag of food in front of my door with a note on it too, because this fucker called the place that was making my food and said, "Hey, can you like write it like a note to this person?" It was like this nice thing, like, "Oh, I hope you had a good trip. I'm sorry it all went wrong. Here's some food. I hope it can help make up. Sorry I can't be there." It was really sweet, and I was like, I cried a little bit.
Oh.
I cried just a little bit. Ate the food. Told him my thanks and everything like that. That was so like I've never had that happen to me before. I've had like friends order me food, but they've told me straight up, they're like, what do you want? Like, I'm gonna order you something. I know you've had a bad day, but like he like sneakily ordered food and also got like a handwritten note on it and called the place, was like, is it an extra charge? Like, do I need to pay anything to have you write a note?
That's cute.
Please write a note towards this person, blah, blah, blah. And it was very sweet. Even though we didn't work out, I still have the note. I kept it.
That's cute.
I kept it. So that was my little thing. It's not as big as the other
If you're
ones,
out
but
there, he's still single. If
if you're
wanna
out
come back.
there, I am still single, and I don't know. Maybe shoot your shot again. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Man,
I love.
I'm trying to think of other things. That was so small. That was just a tiny little one.
Yeah, but it makes a big difference. Like,
It does.
like recently, Frisia was sick, and I drove to her house and brought her soup, and like, it's a small thing, but you know, it means a lot to them. Or like,
Yeah.
one time midstream, Grinchy, like, on my stream was like, I'm at your house. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Oh my
And she
God.
brought me like a slice of strawberry shortcake because it's my favorite.
Oh.
And then she just left. Like, that's it. She just wanted to bring me a slice
That
of
was a lot of
strawberry
my
shortcake.
stories because my friends do a lot of that stuff where they'll like swing by and either drive me somewhere to get something with them and then drop me off at home again, or like order me food or drive by to give me a hug or something, or like a little care
Oh.
package.
It's
Or
just,
when I had
yeah.
COVID, they would come by and like they couldn't obviously come by the house too close, so they would leave something outdoors and it'd be like a little care package since I had COVID. But yeah, they really do make up your mood. It's surprising. Just a little, like, even a hug from a person. I had a bad day once, and they lived close by, so they just got in their car and drove by, and then gave me a hug. Everything's gonna be fine. That made my week. That one little thing, just literally just a hug, made my week.
Yeah, it's always the small little things that like you don't know you need until it happens. You're just like, aw, I feel that in my
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah, like ow.
A lot
But
of
a
the
good owl.
times, the giver person doesn't even remember it, but it's the person that got it that remembers it more.
Yeah, because I'll bring it up. I'll be like, oh, I remember this time you did this for me, and they're like, when? What? And I was like,
What are you
oh,
talking about?
okay.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That's probably why I can't remember a lot of the stories that I've done personally, because I probably forgot about them. Like, it was a small little thing, and they're probably really happy I did it. But I'm like, what? I did that? Me?
Oh,
I
I
mean,
don't
I
remember.
don't know. Glad I did.
I was gonna say there's like was it 2 times now that Ferra sent me a pizza midstream?
Yeah.
Oh,
Westy,
that's the
like,
best.
Westy makes the mistake of saying live in 4K that he has not eaten, and then expects to not get
Not get food.
delivery.
Look,
fair.
look.
So far, I haven't delivered anything to his new address, but he lives way closer to a bunch of food delivery places now, so it'll be way easier for me.
Now wait a minute.
He used to live out in the middle of the fucking nowhere, so the delivery options were way worse. Now I have such a variety.
Wait a minute now. Let's not be hasty on that. We're in the middle of the show. So anyway, another act of kindness. Well,
Only when I'm financially stable. Only give gifts to your friends when you're financially stable.
that is true. Another act of kindness I'm trying to think of.
I have one that was super recent, like last month or the month before. I think it was last month, yeah. Frisia has a newish boyfriend. It's been a little over 4 months. He was going to take her to Edmonton to pick up a guitar that he really wanted. He bought it off of somebody on Facebook Marketplace, and they were gonna head up. I was home. It was like the middle of the week. I was home. I was sick. So I didn't go to school that day. And they got like 30 minutes out, just past my town, and his clutch blew. So his car was like totally unusable. This is why you don't drive manuals. So he had to call a tow company, and the tow company took him to like the local tow place. and they were quoting him like so much money to fix it. And Frisia was like, well, my brother is a mechanic, like he could probably do it for way less. And so she like called her brother, and her brother was like, yeah, no problem, like I can order the parts and fix it for him. Like it might not be right away, it might take a couple weeks, but I can do that for you. And she was calling me and telling me about it because she was stressed out. But the issue was that they were now in town, which was about 35 minutes out, and they needed to be in city, which is the other direction, 35 minutes out, because that's where his mechanic shop was to do the repairs. And the tow for that would be really expensive. And they had already been towed once that day to like a local shop. So he was like, fuck, like, what do I do? I don't have a trailer to like load this car onto. And they needed a ride home. So Frisia asked me if I could come pick them up, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I drove out there, and they were right next to my brother's mechanic shop. So we went in there and asked him if he had like any trailers that we could use, and he was like, no, we don't have any of those. And I was like, well, fuck, like, I don't know, I guess you're gonna have to call a tow company. Do you have AMA, which is like Alberta Motor Association? So if you have a membership with them, you can get towed anywhere within a certain radius for free.
The Canadian AAA, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, we have AAA too, but AMA is like specifically here.
Okay.
So he was like, no, I don't have AMA. And I was like, well, you should have it. And then I was like, wait, I have AMA. And then I called my dad, and I was like, didn't you once get your friend's car towed using your AMA, even though technically you're not allowed to do that? It has to be your car. And he was like, yeah, but they don't know whose car it is. Like, they don't have a car registered on your account. You just tell them that it's your car.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come and take it. And I was like, oh. So I called them, and I was like, hey, my car broke. Could you tow me to city 35 minutes away? And they were like, oh, yeah, no problem. And it was totally covered, 100%, didn't have to pay anything. And they were like, is this your car? And I was like, yep, that was my car. So he got his car towed, thankfully for free, to Frisia's brother's mechanic shop to get it repaired. And then he did it for him way cheaper than what the other shop was quoting. I think it actually just got fixed a couple days ago, so he has it now. And I ended up driving them all the way to Edmonton to get his guitar, and they treated me to Spaghetti Factory.
Ooh, nice.
It was delicious. Yes.
Can I say I like the comment that the boyfriend is still new until they hit about the half a year mark?
Yeah. Until you hit like 6 months, then you're still new.
Now you're just not
Honestly,
so new.
Yeah.
Now you're
I was
like
gonna say.
kind of new.
New
He's
condition.
newish, but like once he hits 6
Condition.
months, he'll be kind of new, and then once he hits the year mark, it'll be like, yeah, that's Frisia's boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Here's the one mark, and you're like, okay.
Now
Been
it's
around
serious.
now.
Yeah.
That's fair. That did actually remind me of a story of a very nice. It was an act of kindness, I'll say. I'm not gonna tell the whole story because I know one of you has heard this story already, and I'm gonna save the entire story for another episode. Come on, moving episode. But yeah, I moved at the end of the year, start of the year, and cutting out some details, I had some car issues after driving across the country, and it was like 3 a.m. ish, around 3 a.m. and I had a car stuck on a tow dolly, or a tow dolly stuck on the car, a battery that was just like, it wasn't dead, but it wasn't like turning over. I didn't have any tools at the time, because when you're moving, you don't just have those, at the ready. It's kind of packed away in the car somewhere. And I was at 3 a.m., just stuck. I had a cat in a hotel a little bit away. I was just in a parking lot looking around like, motherfucker. And so I just was like, all right, fuck it. And I walk around and find a 24-hour quick trip gas station. And I just go inside like, man, do you have like any tools for sale? Just like a little wrench or something, please. And this dude's just like, no, we don't. Like, fuck. He goes, what's going on? It's like, well, my car's like dead over there, and I can't like, I don't have any tools. I can't like fix it. I'm stuck. I got my pet in a hotel that I only rented for a night that I gotta get back to. It's like I've been driving all day, haven't eaten yet, so fucking tired. And the buddy's just like, yo man, you got AAA? Like, no. He's like, hang on, I got AAA. This dude like calls AAA for me and like requests service. And then like when the guy shows up, he's like, yeah, it's your car. Guy's like, yep, that's it. Gets it all fixed up for me. It helps me unload something. I'm not gonna spoil what happens there. Again, later episode. Point being, this like one random cashier at a gas station was just like, hey man, I got you. As I come wandering in, I was bleeding at that point too. I had like an open wound from this trip. Looking exhausted. Haven't slept for like a day after driving for over 12 hours. And this dude's like, no, man, I got you. So that was really nice. I would not have made
universe
that.
sent that man to save you.
Yeah, no shit.
For
right
real.
Time, right place kind of thing.
Yeah, like right person. Because anyone else would be
Right
like, no,
person
man, that
too,
sucks.
yeah.
And I would have like had to walk back to the hotel and hope like, well, hope my car's fine. And I got to walk all the way back holding a fucking cat in a cat carrier. And hope it was cold too. Like that made me feel horrible because I had to walk her back. It was like 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like negative what? Negative 4 degrees Celsius. And she's not a very long-haired cat.
Let's find out. -6. So yeah,
that should be
that's
conversion suck.
a little chilly. -6.
Yeah,
a little bit.
About negative. It was around there. Like it got colder, but that was the coldest like she had experienced in a year since the last freeze. And she wasn't outside for that. But yeah, that dude like literally saved us with that because AAA got us sorted good back on the road in the morning and new house. We made it.
Hell yeah.
PSA. If you don't have AAA,
Dude, if you
and you're listening to this, and you can afford it, you should probably get it.
it is like $60 a year.
It's not
worth it.
expensive at all. It's there's different like tiers, I believe.
Yes,
that
there's
you can
3
get,
tiers.
But like even just base tier, like if you run out of gas on the side of the highway, they'll come gas up your car.
That one's the
I got
max
rescued
tier.
in America when my tire burst. Like that was so helpful.
Mm-hmm. Like I was gonna say, for $60 a year, you get towed a few miles, and they come out and like fix your car and replace your battery. For the max tier, they'll tow you unlimited miles and bring you gas and fix your car.
Yeah.
It's worth it for sure, especially if you commute a lot.
Mm-hmm. For $80 a year, and no matter what, you're just calling and be like, "Hey, my battery's dead," and they come out with a new battery and hook you up.
Yeah, it's really helpful.
AAA, sponsor us.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, sponsor us,
please.
AAA.
I have one more that it starts off rough, but it ends good. And funny enough, it's another car one.
Cars be giving us trouble, man. We all have ship boxes. Well,
They
Wesley doesn't
really
even
do.
have his anymore, actually.
This was a shitbox's car, but that didn't happen for this story. I was in a parking lot with one of my friends. She was at the bank, And this parking lot was the worst thing ever. The worst parking lot I've literally ever experienced in my entire life. And I was waiting to back up, so I was sitting there for a good solid time because person across from me was also backing up, but they were doing it first, so you wait. But my reverse lights were on because I just put it in reverse and I put on my foot on the brake, waiting. I wanted to show people like, yes, I'm reversing next. So they're pulling out, and as they're pulling out, so I'm watching them. Some guy manages to pull up like literally right behind me and also sit there. Like once again, my reverse lights are on. So I'm clearly going next. And he pulls up in my blind spot. I didn't see him at all. Probably see where the story's going, but he just pulls up. He is so fucking close to me also, because when I go to back up after this other van, which they were the dumbest people ever, they took like 5 minutes to fucking back up this spot. This guy's been sitting behind me for like 5 fucking minutes with my reverse lights on in my blind spot. So then I start to go because this van has finally left. And it was like seconds. My friend yells as soon as I let go of the brake, and I didn't have any time to react because he was literally right behind me, and I back into this fucker. And now thankfully he didn't get mad at me, because if he got mad at me, I would have lost my shit on him, because he was it just frustrates me. Like, why were you there? So I got out of the car. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't see you there. I was like, why were you behind me? My reverse lights were on. Like, why are you here? And he was like, oh, I guess I didn't see that. Sorry, I was waiting for the other spot, man. And I was like, okay, but like, how's the damage? I look, my car, nothing. There's literally no damage on my car. His car, big dent on the fender. And so I'm freaking out. I'm like, this is the first time I've ever technically had an accident. The first time I'm shitting my pants. It's like a hot summer day too, so I'm already like stressed. I was waiting for 5 minutes to back out, so I just want to leave. I just want to go home. And we're both trying to find like a pen to write down insurance info, and I didn't have one and he didn't have one. And this is the nice act, which once again, maybe isn't so much of a nice act because I was the one being nice in the situation. But he was like, do you know what? Since we don't have pens, I'll just let you go, man. It's okay. It's not worth it. And I was like, I've never been happier to hear those words ever.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, oh, so sorry again. Haha, thank you. Once again, trying to be super nice because I was like, oh, wow, he's actually going to let me go. But in my head, I was like, this fucking idiot. I was like, you better have let me go, because not only did you sit there for 5 minutes behind someone who had their reverse lights on, but you also pulled so close to me that I couldn't see you. I should have been able to see you. Like, why were you there? And so that was very frustrating. And then after that, I just drove home and like laid down in bed. And I just sat there for like the rest of the day. My mom was like, what's up? What's wrong with you? And I was like, I don't want to drive anymore. I don't want to drive anymore, man. But yeah, it's not. That's kind of an act of kindness, because he could have been an asshole about that, because he had more damage on his car than mine, and it was very obvious. My car had nothing, like no scratches, no bumps, because my bumper hit his fender, so mine bounced back after I hit it, but his fender was so bent, man.
I hate that shit. I've been in 2 accidents. One was not at all my fault. One was my fault. No damage to my car at all. 0 damage. Always damage to the other car. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Because I don't care about damage to my car. I have a 2004 Saturn Vue, dude. I don't care if you dent my car. But of course, like my most recent accident, I scrape a 2021 fucking like Dodge Ram or whatever, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oof.
Like,
that's why I drive shit boxes. Yeah, because
I
this
don't
car,
care,
I didn't
dude.
care.
If you run into me, I'll be like, fuck off, I don't care.
Thanks for the beauty mark. Thanks for
the
badge of honor. Yeah, that was crazy. I was keeping your cool in situations like that. Have a bonus. That's my advice from that situation. Keep your cool, and they might let you go.
Yeah, like if you get
I
out,
could have been an asshole.
If you get out
Did
and
not
you're like
happen to me
yelling,
last time.
screaming, they're probably gonna like go defensive and be like, well, guess what? Now you're gonna have to pay more.
Yeah.
You just
honestly just cry.
Also,
just manipulate
another
them emotionally.
PSA. Yeah, I should have cried the last time. I cried the first time, and that bitch did not care. She fully did not care, and it was her fucking fault too.
Oh. That's even worse.
I
It's her
hate it.
fault, and
Oh
then
my
she's-
god. Dude, that's a whole other story. What if we ever do Okay, I'm taking the topic of accidents. Nobody else is allowed to do it.
Ooh, I
'Cause
have a story
a
for
good
that.
one. I have a good one. I have two good ones actually.
Okay.
Oh damn.
So I won't talk about it anymore because I'm saving it now.
Yeah, I can't spoil mine. Mine's
Except
like,
I'm
that's-
totally gonna forget about this conversation.
I like that we're just like reserving topics. You know, I'm waiting for the move, you're waiting for the accidents.
We're just collecting them. We're collecting like
Yeah,
Pokemon cards.
I have
all
to be
of the stories we
prepared.
have.
Gotta catch them all.
Just in case we ever do 2 episodes in a row, which we would never do, by the way.
No, never. Each episode is actually
Never,
recorded
ever.
like the minute before it goes live.
Yes, AFK gets 1 minute to edit them.
1 minute editing.
Yep. She's that skilled.
And if she doesn't, she gets like whipped.
She would like that is the problem.
Ah,
That's not
shit.
really a
Oh,
punishment.
shit. I've learned that on Twitch. Saying any punishment that usually is
No,
a punishment,
they
people
will-
go, "Oh,
They go,
yeah."
"Oh, okay, you promise?" It's like, shut
I'm
up.
like, "You've just ruined this."
Yep.
Now you have to threaten to take it away, and then they start acting right.
If you threaten to ban them, then all of a sudden
We're taking away your
Yeah.
butt
it's not
plug.
funny anymore. Yeah. Or if you're like
Yeah.
taking away their VIP or their mod, suddenly it's not funny anymore.
Yep.
I won't step on you.
Yeah,
doing this.
exactly.
They're like, no,
No.
okay, I'll stop. You crazy. You sick little fucks. They would like that too. I can't even say that.
Yeah, you can't
They'd
even
be
say
like,
that.
yeah, say
They'll be
more.
like-
Tell me more.
They'll be like, "Yes, daddy," and you'll be like, "Shut the fuck up."
What the hell?
A bunch of what? Everybody who watches this podcast is a coomer. I'm
True.
calling you out. You know who you are.
I mean, yeah.
I know what kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's your.
I think that's all I have. It wasn't
yeah.
much. I know.
That's pretty much
I
all
know
I
I
have.
have more
It's hard to
stories, but
think
it's
about
hard.
them.
I know there's more somewhere, and I might be able to come up with them in later episodes.
You're gonna
but
think
I'll
about them
figure
in
it
the
out.
shower later, and you'll be like,
I know
"Shit,
we're gonna end. I'm gonna eat dinner, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, "Oh fuck!
damn."
I did another nice thing once in my life. Oh my god!"
Once many
That was
years ago.
Many moons ago, when I was a small child, I shared a candy bar.
Eons ago, I was kind once.
Yeah. I was not. Well, I was a little shithead when I was a kid, so all my I think mine are
was
more
too.
recent actually.
Jesus.
I was too.
I'm gonna have to give it to I'm gonna have to give it to Westy because
Mm.
the gas station dude whipping out his AAA for like a stranger is
Right?
That dude
that's like
was
He's a real one.
really
Awesome.
good. Yeah.
I'm actually still
If you're listening to
close
this AAA.
to that
Ah.
AAA. Like, I've wanted to go a little bit further and like revisit him, just be like, hey man, you know, thank you so much for that night, but I don't have a car at the moment, so I can't.
Oh.
What happened to your car, Westy?
Oh, you know, we'll save that for a later episode.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe the next one, we'll see.
I'm also saving Arva because I'm sure I don't think you have a topic set up.
No, I actually did, but that's okay. That means
Do
I
have a
you?
have one
topic.
too.
That
It's,
means I have a topic for next week.
That means you have a
Or
yeah,
next
yeah.
week. Or whenever
I'll
whenever
throw.
next.
You
I'll
gotta-
throw so that you can win next time.
Okay.
By me throwing, I mean I'll just do what I usually do, and then I probably won't win.
Oh.
just make sure you write it down.
I'm writing it down right now, actually.
I
Yeah.
just gotta remember car.
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 Westy, do you have a victory speech?
Shout out to that dude in the gas station. I actually don't remember your name, but man, you are a lifesaver. And shout out to my old mentor. Thank you for everything. I'm happy that you're happy in your new home. Send me more pictures of your dogs.
Oh. True. There's never enough
Yeah,
dogs.
we love dog pics.
Woo.
Arva, What do you have anything to say?
One, I need to do more small acts of kindness. Two, if you're listening to this and you're that guy in that parking lot, fuck you and learn how to drive, bitch. You're so lucky I was nice that day and I was scared because it was my first accident. If you came across me now, bitch, I would have backed up into more. Damn.
Going like, well.
I would just fuck that fender up. That one fender, fucked. It'll be look like a paintball incident.
Oh my god. The fucking.
That's what you get for being a kind person. Now, like, Arv has a permanent grudge against you.
Yeah, you literally like let me go out of an accident that, well, it wasn't my fault, but I did hit you. But also, fuck you. Fuck you. You should have been the one that you were at fault. You were my blind spot. You were an idiot.
Holy shit. I need to do more small
See?
acts of kindness. Also, fuck you, that one guy who did a small act of kindness.
Maybe there's a theme here, but that's okay. I'll try to fix myself. I can fix him.
I can fix him. Yeah.
Him, in this case, is me. I can fix me.
Oh god, looking at yourself in the mirror, he's broken, but I can fix him.
I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I can't fix that.
That's a bit of a disaster. It's a long-term process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I look at myself,
It's a
it's just like,
long-term goal.
damn, too bad this ain't my renovation project, and move along.
Damn, this needs professional help.
Ow. True.
Listeners,
where you
make
at?
sure you guys do your random act of kindness whenever
Yeah.
you listen to this.
And
Yeah.
learn how to drive.
Yeah, and learn how to drive.
Also get AAA.
Yes,
Triple A.
get AAA,
Get AAA.
or whatever your like local version of AAA is. If you're in Alberta, AMA, whatever.
It's so worth it.
BCAA.
Yeah, just get it. It's like having insurance.
I
Like,
don't
it's-
even have a car at the moment, but I still have AAA just in case somebody else's car breaks down. I can call and be like,
Right.
yo.
Sarah, exactly. Payback.
Even if you don't have a car at the moment, you can.
I
help
have
someone
not
out.
had to use my AAA, but I've used it for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just like a safety blanket.
Sponsor us, AAA.
Yes,
Sponsor us. We're sugaring you.
sponsor us.
We're sugaring you so good right now.
We
Yeah,
are.
you're gonna get so many sales from us.
All two of them.
Ouch. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. How do you do the outro? Isn't it like, or you can follow me at twitch.tv/FerraTheBat, or by Twitter is at FerraSilvertail. You can follow Westy at Sir Westy on Twitch, Westy HCC on Twitter, and Arva is Arva on Twitch, Arva_69 on Twitter. Because none of us can get our shit together, and we will never have the same usernames on both platforms.
No.
Fuck you, Twitter. Give me my username.
Okay, bye bye. See you next
Bye.
week.
Bye.